Okay na, game. Ready na ba tayo? Gotta do this already. Okay.
Let's do
In
this.
3, 2,
Ay, puta.
1. Hey guys, what's up? This is the Anyare Podcast with Amanda, Irwin, and BJ. In this episode, we got fired. Oy, guys,
Fire sa
pasok
atin.
na kayo dito kasi may pa-video na tayo ng bayan
Oo
dito.
pala.
Iba na to.
Hello,
Hindi na tayo,
everyone! Oh, wow.
Para maiba naman yung ating mga nakikita na natin yung mga mukha na.
Yeah,
Ano?
same.
Baka may tinga-tinga pa.
Uy,
Yeah,
ano,
so for
tagal
our
na natin hindi
podcast
nag-uusap
listeners,
lahat.
Oo nga eh. But for our podcast listeners, it's still the same experience. But wala, if you want to see our face, we're on YouTube na rin. So, same
Yes, may
recording,
YouTube
same
na tayo.
audio.
Habulin na kami ng BIR.
I-promote naman natin yung ano
So,
natin. I-promote naman natin yung YouTube channel natin.
Oh, sige,
Yes.
go Beach.
Wow, ano nga ba? At anyare.podcast pa rin, di ba? So,
Oo.
Yes,
So,
correct.
yeah,
Kanyan.
please like and
Correct.
subscribe. Ganyan. Click the bell button.
It might be over there or over here.
Or down below.
Down there.
click the thumbs up icon or button. Para,
Uy, ano na guys, okay. So, ang tagal na nating ulit hindi nag-uusap. Nagchichikahan tayong tatlo kasi nga ang daming mga pangyayari. And I think one of
Yes.
the bigger happenings is we got
We got
fired.
fired.
Sino
Okay.
nag-fire sa atin? Oh.
No, I think ano naman, hindi naman siya fired. Ano lang naman, pabebe lang naman kami dito. I think there was we came to a point na hindi na rin nag-match siguro yung ano namin, yung what you call this, our vision and mission with our network before. So, isa 'yon sa mga ano namin, isa 'yon sa mga naging mga pangyayari for the past few months. And
It's one
I
of
think
the
Tsaka it
parang
really
milestones.
Yes, correct.
milestone the
Oo.
fired. Pero I think at the end of the day, it really gave us the opportunity to grow again and for us to remake the podcast. Kasi hindi namin alam if our network would allow us to move into YouTube. Kasi nga, it
YouTube,
was a
yeah.
purely podcast channel. So now,
Correct.
parang we're a bit freer, I guess, and we can do whatever we want naman, and it's really our own free time.
Well,
So ano naman yung mga ano nyo? Ano
Yeah,
bang
just to add
mga...
din, disclaimer lang rin naman, hindi naman din tayo sobrang pre-event ng network.
Correct,
natin.
correct.
So, hindi naman sila sobrang strict. I mean, sobrang free nga nila eh. Tinutulungan nga
Actually,
nila
they're
tayo.
really,
Oo.
yeah. Yun. So having said that, like what BJ was saying, actually the relationship was really good, and it was something
Yes.
when we were first starting out podcasting, parang our goal was to actually make it with podcast network Asia, and surprisingly within the 4th episode, we were able to make a connection, and from there, things happened, and unfortunately hindi na rin kami aligned dun sa goals nila in terms of
Yes.
how fast we were churning out content and
Yes.
how fast we were churning out our episodes, and we really took a long break like sinabi nga ni Irwin kasi
Yes.
we had our own things going on. So from our end, hindi rin kami maka-deliver dun sa hinihingi nila,
Correct.
and us moving forward, we thought we might not fit the bill rin. So all in all, thank you, PNA. Thank you for it
Yes.
so
Thank you,
much. We
PNA.
learned so
PNA.
much, and we learned so much throughout the process, and it was such a fulfilling experience to even be recognized to be part of them. So, yun. But now, welcome to YouTube and welcome to us. Ito na
Yes!
naman.
Dito na kami. Everywhere and
Anyare
anywhere na
Podcast
kami. Omni-channel.
V4 version 4.0.
Okay, sige guys. Since now that we've talked about us getting fired, I mean, quote-unquote fired, meron ba kayong parang pa-experience na ganun? Kung, hindi, it's either you were on the receiving end or you're the one that had to ask someone. It doesn't necessarily mean na it at work or whenever, pero pwede siya sa school, pwede siya sa orgs, right? Remember may mga instances like on social media, there are stories posted online na may mga groupmates sila na walang ambag, tapos nagugulat sila na wala na yung pangalan nila sa report or pagdating sa kuhaan ng grades.
Yeah.
Ay, hindi ka nila nilagay kasi ganyan. Meron ba kayong mga
Correct.
experience na ganyan?
Sinong
Sino
unang
una?
Sinong unang
Ako okay lang
natira
kasi
sa
ako
sarili?
yung nagtanong. So, bato ba topic? Go. Live na ba? Ano na
Pumili ka
tayo?
na lang.
Nakikita na tayo.
Dahil ikaw nagtanong.
Pumili ka na lang.
Okay.
Choose.
Okay.
Close your eyes.
Okay,
And
close your eyes. Amanda.
parang, walang prosesong ganun eh. Parang na-feel ko lang na ganun-ganun lang yung pagkapili.
It's
Oo.
you.
Let me think. Feeling ko, ano bang share ko? I think mostly in high school. Hindi naman kasi siya sa fired. Actually, nung pinag-usapan namin tong episode kahapon, parang we were thinking about it. Work-wise kasi wala pa kami sa level ng mga fire. And thankfully enough, di pa naman kami na-fire sa trabaho namin outside of
Uy,
podcasting.
knock on wood po.
No, what I mean is like
Naman.
hindi siya to a point na parang, it didn't get to that level naman. So we're fine in that respect. But yung naisip ko was like, yung when we were in high school and we had kind of like positions, like nag-student council kaming tatlo. Actually, student council kaming tatlo in high school, and then nag-pep squad yun kami ni BJ. So, syempre, there are tryouts and ganyan. So, parang ganun ko siya naisip na I think if you're in the receiving end, you're just like, bakit? Like, ano yung hindi okay for me? But if you had the opportunity to be on the part where you had to make that choice, whether to let go someone, talagang parang iisipin mo kasi talaga yung goal mo or yung goal nyo initially. So I think yung share ko, ano ba dapat, PJ? Ano ba yung share mo? Para alam ko yung share ko.
Ako, sa college kasi ako. More on...
So group work ka?
Group work, oo.
Sige. So I will share. Wala. Like, siguro I'll just share pep squad na lang. Pero wala naman kasi akong, meron naman ka akong finire. Hindi naman fire. Nilat go. It was attendance related. Yung hindi na siya sumusupot. Tapos parang sumisipot.
Chat mo kung sino. Wow.
Same.
Actually, mga dalawa or tatlo.
Amanda, chat mo.
Let go. Wait lang, na. And then, pag nagsalita na si BJ, and then mag-chat ako. Di maka-multitask. But yun, I let a few people go through attendance. Not I pala, sorry, we. Hindi naman ako lang gumawa ng decision. And then, the others were, parang, alam mo yung, there's that saying na parang, ano yun? Hard work works harder when talent doesn't work hard. Ano ba yun?
Parang
hard
ko lang narinig yan.
Hindi! Meron yan!
Bakit may dito? Inventor ka na rin.
Sarili mo yata yung saying.
Hindi! May saying yan in the athletic world na parang hard work works when talent refuses to work hard. Parang something ganon. And I think it was a big decision for us kasi dun sa pep squad nun, yung dalawang nilet go namin, actually talent-wise, skill-wise, they're so good. Like talagang gymnasts sila or talagang they had like this wonderful background, but they don't show up. They're not there. And then there are like 3 girls na maybe they didn't have the right skill set yet, or maybe hindi talaga, like they're just not flexible enough. But they're the first ones in training, they're the last ones out, they want to keep trying. And mas value ko yun. So that was kind of our experience, how we decided to let go of someone or not. It was hard. Like, well, sino ba nagsabi? Ako ba nagsabi? Parang lahat ata kami. And I think that's even more daunting. Like, if I look back, parang it would have been better if it was just one person and that other person compared to 4 kaming heads tapos yung isang person na gano'n. Na parang, obviously, she'll feel like wala na siyang masabi. Kasi 4 kami na parang, ito yung hindi mo ginawa, tapos ito yung hindi mo ginawa, ito rin, hindi mo ginawa. So, wala ka na rin masay.
Ano yan?
So, I think
Bago sila niyan?
I think within the first 2 months, after pep rally, we let them go.
Okay.
Talaga?
So, bagong pasok sa tryouts yan?
Hindi, bagong pasok sa season. So, di ba the season start?
Right,
Di ba, normally we have tryouts towards the end of the year, and then we have summer training.
Yeah.
And then our first big thing is always pep rally. Because that's where all of the games or all of the competitions start for the school, right? So after pep rally, we let I think 2 people go. Kasi I think we even let some people go. Ako ito na experience ko. I was part of wala pa ako sa position nun, pero na-experience ko siya na we were in summer training, tas we let them go. So, they never even got their uniform. They never even got their uniform.
Pero kasi naman, I think when these things happen, there's always a reason, right? I feel like, as
Mm.
much as you would want to really force it, but if it doesn't work, or if it's really not the right fit, you
Yeah,
really need to let go of people, or
correct.
talent for that matter, just for the group to survive. Because ayaw mo rin naman may dead weight, 'di ba? Parang sino bang may gusto ng dead weight sa
Tsaka
mga...
mahirap yun. Ang mahirap kasi dyan, pagka pinaplan nyo yung like blockings, di ba? Yung mga pupunta sa
Oo.
games,
Oo,
tapos
oo,
biglang hindi
oo.
sila nag-a-attend. So, paano nila
Correct.
malalaman yung...
Exactly,
Correct.
exactly. Talagang dead weight. So, ikaw ba, Beach?
Oo.
Meron ka bang na-experience na gano'n?
Ako, more on college na ako eh. Kasi high school, hindi naman ako sobrang parang, alam mo yun, leader. I mean,
Wow!
may potential. Pero hindi ko siya masyadong um, in-entertain. Sa college
Okay.
ko siya, in-entertain yung pagiging leader, whatever. Ang kadiri, pero kiniklaim ko ng
Kaya
sarili ko.
nag-roll eyes talaga.
Pero, yung sa akin kasi, more on sa group work siya, sa isang class.
Oo. Oo.
So, pag sa class kasi, meron kaming machine projects. So, yung course kasi, ComSci, di ba? So, sa ComSci,
So,
meron kaming
gagawa kayo ng machine?
hindi
Pero parang
machine.
yung
Parang
input.
app software.
Okay,
Oo,
okay.
ganyan. Meron
Okay, okay,
kaming,
okay.
basta, program na kailangan i-develop.
Okay,
Tapos,
okay.
usually, pag maganyan, it's either 2 people. Depende sa laki ng project eh. Minsan 2 tao lang or 3 tao. Yung sa amin nun, 3 kami.
So, medyo
Tapos,
Okay.
malaki
kasi
yung project nyo.
malaking project. May database, tapos merong, ang tawag dito, front end.
Okay.
So, yung
And
nakikita
back.
mo sa
Okay, okay,
computer,
okay.
yan.
Gets. Front end and back end. Okay.
Oo. So, medyo malaki siyang project. Ang nangyari, 80% or 70% ng project, ako gumawa. 20%,
Dun sa
hindi
isa.
kasi namin natapos eh. Hindi namin natapos. So, mga 90% lang natapos. Yung 20, dun sa isa. Tapos yung isa, wala talaga at all. Nung mga first few, kasi meron niyang mga phase 1, phase 2. Nung phase 1, siya yung naghanap ng contact, ganyan. Kasi yung project noon was creating like a ticketing system. Yung, alam mo yung sure seats sa
Oo.
ATC, sa town center noon. Ganun siya. Ganun yung concept. So siya yung nakakuha ng contact doon sa Alabang, sa town center. Tapos meron kami na-interview na tao kung paano nag-work yung system, ganyan. Tapos pinattern namin. Yung phase 2, yun na yung talagang gagawin mo yung system.
Actual.
Actual na. Hindi na siya tumulong doon. So parang ako, nire-remind ko siya na, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. Dumating sa point, kasi syempre, pag group work, hahatiin mo yung yung responsibilities, di ba? Tapos dumating sa point na natapos ko na yung akin, natapos na nung isa yung kanya, tapos siya, wala pa rin siyang nagagawa. Lagi siyang may dahilan na parang whatever. Ewan ko, like, wala siya sa bahay or may iba siyang ginagawa, ganyan. So, ginawa ko, binigyan ko siya ng chance. As in, sabi ko, yeah, basta gawin mo lang yan hanggang deadline, by deadline natin. Pero
Oo.
syempre, as a medyo skeptical na tao, ginawa ko siya sa sarili ko. Like, may plan B ako. Tinapos ko siya.
Oh, if ever di niya
Tinapos ko
gawin.
yung if ever di niya gawin, tapos kami. Or at least, malapit na may matapos.
Oo.
Apparently, hindi niya talaga ginawa. Pagdating
Pero
Ano yung
hindi
rason
nila
niya?
alam that you made this plan B, Beach. Hindi
Hindi
nila
nila
alam.
alam. Hindi nila alam.
Okay.
Ako lang may alam. Kasi
Even
syempre,
the
gusto
other
ko rin.
one na parang kind of tumutulong, hindi mo rin
Oo,
sinabi.
hindi ko rin sinabi.
Okay.
So parang ginawa ko na siya. Pagdating ng demo day namin, in-explain namin lahat. So ako yung nag-explain kasi ako yung may alam kung ano yung nangyari. In-explain dun sa professor, ganyan. Pagdating dun sa dun sa, tinanong kami ng professor na parang, ilang percent yung contribution mo? So syempre, sabi ko, ako, 70. Tapos isa 20. Sabi niya, anong ginawa ng isa? Tapos lahat kami silent. Sabi ko, Miss, I
Pati
don't
siya.
know. Pati siya.
Oo.
So at least aminado siya.
Aminado naman siya.
Bakit
Hindi
daw?
naman siya yung parang
Nakausap niyo ba?
I'm 50% kasi ako
Oo,
naman,
hindi.
without me, wala naman kayong contact na gagawa nung So, aminado rin naman siya.
Aminado
Okay.
naman siya. Inamin
Okay.
naman niya. Bakit daw? Hindi ko alam. Hindi ko na siya kinausap after eh. As in after nung demo day namin. Kasi na yun parang finals na yun. Finals tapos demo day. Pagdating nung demo day, wala na. Hindi na kami nag-usap. Kahit sa Facebook, hindi kami nag-usap. So, hindi ko na alam ano nangyari sa kanya. Hindi ko alam kung pumasa siya or may ginawa siyang ibang extra credit or whatever. Pero yun, alam ko wala na. So yun.
Oo.
Ganun siya.
Pero,
Parang,
Bijang question ko is like, itong dalawang groupmates mo, kilala mo na ba sila like from the start? Like,
Or
have you
oo nga,
worked with
or
them
parang
before?
sa class lang ko
So, okay, so
talaga.
you haven't worked with them before.
Never.
So that was my first question. Second question ko is like, alam mo yung kasi parang when you first meet a new group of people, parang nakikiramdaman na kayo eh. Like,
Yes.
sino yung game, sino yung bibo, sino yung walang ambag dito, sino ganyan. And I don't know if I'm gonna make you feel very good about yourself. But ikaw kasi, I think you come out, for me ha, if I have to work with you, sa simula pa lang parang, oh my gosh, alam niyo yung ginagawa niya. I'm
Yeah.
already gonna know that I have a good groupmate on with me. And I don't know if that affects how people work with you na parang,
Correct.
BJ's there naman eh.
Dependent.
Like I'm
Parang
sure
nagiging
oo,
dependent sila.
exactly. Kaya I wanted to know if kilala mo na or nakatrabaho mo na kasi I think it makes a difference yun, di ba?
Pero ako
Yeah.
kasi parang in my head, hindi ko talaga kaya yung ganun na wala akong maaambag. Like, hindi ako
Hindi mo maswallow,
makakatulog.
no?
Hindi ko
Oo, oo,
okay,
oo.
like, no hate. Pero hindi ko alam para sa mga taong ganun. Paano sila nakakatulog? Like, ano yung ginagawa nyo na hindi kayo makaambag sa schoolwork? Na if number one, you are in school as a student, 'di ba? I mean, your extracurriculars, okay, fine. It's a given. Ako rin naman, I had my fair share of extra co. Pero kung hindi mo nagagawa yung part mo sa estudyante, nag-aral ka pa? parang,
Ah,
parang ganun na lang yung for me, 'di ba? Parang
oo.
hindi ko rin
Tsaka,
talaga siya magets minsan yung mga ganun. Like, papasok sa class, tapos, ay, reporting day na pala ngayon. Ay,
oo.
Tapos
okay ka
walang
lang.
ballpen. I'm like, ha?
Oy, minsan pumapasok ako walang ballpen.
Same.
Oh,
Pero
that
nakalimutan
happened.
mo lang. nakalimutan
Oo,
mo
pero
lang.
may bag ka naman. Ano naman na bag mo?
Oo.
Wallet lang?
Uy, alam
Walang
mo,
notebook?
guys, maiba lang. Nung fourth year ako, notebook na lang yung dinadala ko sa
Ako
class.
rin.
Wala nang bag-bag. Kasi parang
Ay,
tapos na
nako.
ako sa lahat. I'm done. I'm done with everything. O ganyan.
Same.
But I guess with you, Erwin, going with what you're saying na hindi ka makatulog, if you were in that position that you feel like, if you were the groupmate of DJ that didn't do the work, magiging aminan ba kayo? Would you
Oo
accept or
naman.
unahan mo na? Would you say like, okay guys, I think I didn't do enough here. Do you think you'll have the courage and balls to just say, okay, a step out na ako. I don't want to get any credit for it anymore. Will you have the balls to say that and get out and fend for yourself and do
Okay.
it on your own?
Ako, yes. I would do it. Or kaya I would make, or parang I wouldn't even reach that point eh.
Correct.
Na,
Same, same,
Okay.
same.
'di ba? Kahit, for example, okay, case in point, use case, personal experience. So, I think kilala, matatawa kayo. I've been sharing this story, pero nung fourth year ako thesis, yung partner ko, high school
Oh my
batchmate natin.
God!
Pag narinig mo, oy, miss you, tagal na kitang di nakakausap. So yung thesis partner ko is our high school batchmate and from
Yeah.
Zabel. And naging course mate ko siya in UP. And he's our
Wait, sabihin mo
valedictorian.
naman kung ano yung rank niya nung nung high
He's our
school tayo.
valedictorian sa UP. So,
Guys,
oh
as
my-
in, tas ang tali-talino niya talaga. As
sobrang
in, the
talino
smartest,
niya, as in,
smartest.
Grabe, hands down. So, nung ako noon, partner ko siya. Diba, he's brilliant. Talagang alam niya. So, ako noon, in my head, okay, hindi ako ganun katalino. Hindi ko rin gets na yung ginagawa namin. So, anything and everything that I can help him with, I do it. Parang,
Yeah.
kuwari, yung mga the easiest of things na, okay, I'll print or I'll do, pero, oy, guys, don't get me wrong, may ambag rin naman ako sa thesis namin. But, yung mga, the things that I can do it on my own, na wala, that doesn't need his help. Kasi sometimes, the higher level crunching, number crunching, siya yung gumagawa. Kasi minsan hindi ko talaga gets yung parts na ng thesis namin na,
Oo.
ano ba to? And he would really try to explain it to me. And ako naman, from my end, since hindi ko na nga siya nagawa, especially yung data na talaga, hindi yung empirical data na, yung mga abstract, ako yan, sige, game. Pero yung empirical data, yung siya talaga yung nag-code and sa
Yeah.
program namin. Siya na yung gumawa. And ako naman, and from that end, sabi ko, okay, moral support.
No, pero tama yung sinabi mo, Erwin. Kasi I feel like in group settings naman talaga, sometimes the best role that you can offer is a supporting role.
Correct.
But it
Yes.
has to be an active supporting role.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
hindi siya pwedeng hihintayin mo na sasabihin niya, I need your help. You should still stand there and be like, can I help? Can I help?
Oo,
I think I can
ganon,
You
help.
offer
ganon.
yourself. You offer
Ganon.
your help.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Kung alam mong ikaw yung kulang, parang ikaw na lang mag-offer. Hindi naman pwedeng nakaupo ka lang dyan. Siya na nga gumagawa, iisipin pa niya kung anong tulong mo.
Yes.
At least, offer something, di ba? So,
So yun yung
Ano pa lang
talaga.
parang as simple. Ayaw ko siya sabihin as simple kasi hindi siya simple.
hindi rin siya,
Pagda-document, yung
Oo.
pagda-document ng
Oo.
stuff, sobrang
Tama.
hassle niya, formatting ng whatever.
I think
Yun
what he
Oo.
appreciate, kasi meron akong kusang loob nun. Parang nakikwento niya sa akin, I appreciate na may kusa kang loob. Because ito hindi naman sa nagbubuhat ng bangko. Sinabihan niya ako, you're probably one of the better group mates that I've worked with in college. And I'm like, and I was like,
And she was
So,
like,
talaga-
as well.
oh, as well, diba? So, yun lang naman.
But I want to bring this to a level now in work and in
Oo.
career and in corporate life, because I think it's nice for us to reminisce like our college days, but I don't know, ako
Dito
kasi
na
I don't
tayo
work corporate. Oo, and I don't work corporate, that's why I want to ask this question. Kayo ba at work, do you have those feelings na yun, na wala kayong masyadong apag, or you feel like you really, really messed up something, like the biggest mess up, and parang if you were your boss, you'd fire yourself. Alam mo yun, yung
Yes.
feelings na ganon. Did you ever feel that way?
Ako hindi.
Or you're just a really good worker, so
Same.
hindi mo
Ako
na
parang
okay.
hindi rin. Wow.
Feeling ko kasi, may two kinds of work. O hindi lang two kinds, pero may different kinds of work. Work type
Okay.
Type of work pala.
Okay.
Kasi, merong work na shared kayo. Pareho kayo ng ginagawa na sa isang team. Like operations. Isang team kayo, yung tasks nyo delegated. Like, let's say call center. Call center, di ba, they should hit like X number of calls a day, ganyan. So for
Correct,
them to hit that, there are around 8 to 10 people who would take calls, like same number of calls, di ba? So if you don't reach your own number of calls, medyo may problema ka. So iba yun,
Correct.
iba kasi yung parang shared kayo, yung resources
Yeah.
nyo, yung effort
Yeah.
nyo. Pero may yung isang type of work din, yung ikaw mismo, sarili mo lang. Kunwari, project. Kung
Yeah.
nasa project ka, handle mo yung lahat hawak mo yung lahat. So lahat ng magpapalya doon, sa'yo lahat. So yun, at least sa akin, kasi pareho ako na-experience yung first two jobs ko, yan yung talagang shared na, kasi medyo entry level, so associate ka pa lang, tulong-tulong, ganyan. Ngayon kasi, hawak ko talaga yung projects ko. So kung anong papalya dito, kasalanan ko talaga.
And there's somebody working under you, Beach, or no?
Sometimes meron, sometimes wala.
Okay.
So, depends kung feel ko kaya ko, kinuha ko siya, as in akin lang. Kasi ayoko rin, hindi naman sa ayaw, medyo mahirap kasi kapag may iba pa, na medyo tumatayal kasi yung work. Kasi kailangan mo
hinihintay mo yung
i-explain.
deliverables nila. And,
Oo.
okay, gets.
Unlike
Okay.
pag ikaw gagawa lahat, alam mo na gagawin mo na isang click mo lang yan, alam mo na. Kapag ka ipapasa mo sa iba, tuturuan mo pa eh. So, yung 1 hour mo, maging 2 hours. Ganun.
Yes.
So, minsan, kapag sobrang simple, ayoko na. Parang sabi ko, ako na gagawa lahat.
Same.
So, ganun siya. And wala pa naman akong na-experience na, alam mo yun, na nag-fail ako ng sobra or may mga minor na-extend yung deadline, ganyan. Pero sobrang minor lang.
Okay.
Ako, Beach, parang for my end, parang corporate kasi is a little bit more complex than college or high school. Kasi with corporate, there is a lifeline there's a lifeline that you're responsible for. Lifeline in a sense that this is the source of income for their livelihood.
Yeah.
This is the source of income for them to live. Versus a high school and college na parang, you can just, if you fail, you can just take the next class, the next semester. Versus the college na if you get fired, this would be for work, if you get fired, this is going to be on your permanent record. As in, every time you move, you would see it na, okay, this guy got fired. And that already brings, that already lowers down your hireability, if that's even a word. Right? Kasi nga, nawala ka na. So, it's a bit complex, especially here in the Philippines, that as an Asian country, we're not really into we don't like confrontations. So
Yeah.
parang
Yes, we don't like conflict. We
yes,
don't like
we don't like
conflict.
conflict. So
Yes, yes.
usually if it's a non-performer, what they do is they ease you out. They make you resign rather than firing you. I think
Correct.
firing is like the last thing that they would do
Yeah.
if
Correct.
makapal
Okay.
Graceful
lang talaga
exit
yung
na lang
way.
siya.
Parang ang
Yes.
gagawin nila is they'll try to ease you out of your role so that you'll resign. Para sa record mo, you resigned. That's it.
Okay.
Or
At
they
least you
give you
can,
the option na
huh?
resign. Sasabihin nila, mag-resign ka na lang.
Actually,
Kesa
that's
maging
illegal.
Okay.
I think
termination.
that's actually illegal, making them resign. Like giving them the option to
Yeah.
resign. That's actually
Talaga?
pretty illegal. Yeah, I think I
Okay.
heard it na parang nasa labor code that you're not allowed to tell na parang mag-resign ka na lang. That's
Okay.
actually not allowed because I don't know, so some laws. Na
Really?
parang I remember. It's either they word it differently or they ease you out. Na
Oo.
parang tatanggalan ka nila ng trabaho, they would wala silang hihingin
Okay.
sa'yo. You're literally just there sitting down. Tapos wala kang
Okay.
ambag.
Yeah.
So para you'd feel na okay, parang wala na akong ambag, I just need to go. So ganun siya in
Okay.
corporate, especially here in the Philippines. I think it's very different in Western countries, like for example in Europe or in the US, that they really tell you off, like
Again.
you're fired.
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to add rin kasi na parang sa corporate sorry, sa corporate kasi
No, no.
meron kayong nakaset na responsibilities
Oo,
eh.
may KPIs.
So, may
Okay.
KPIs kayo. So, yung mga saluhan, medyo hindi siya uso.
Especially
Kasi,
Yes.
especially if it's a project based
yeah.
company. Kung ops
Eh,
beach baka kaya.
Oo,
Yung
oo,
ops.
tama.
Pero pag project-based kayo na parang, okay, I need to launch this product. And this is your responsibility. Hindi mo naman pwedeng ipasa yun sa ibang tao
Correct,
kasi
correct.
yung taong yun, mayroon din siyang project
May
na,
hawak na. Tama,
oo.
tama. Oo.
gets, gets.
Yeah.
I guess what I wanted to ask, my last na about corporate, again, because nga it's something that I'm not familiar with. But because I know, I mean, I know both of you are so good at in your work. Pero hindi pa tayo at that level where we have the capability to
Authority.
fire someone or authority to fire someone. But have you felt the feeling na parang kung ako lang, if I just had that power or authority, mapagsasabihan ko to. Or
Yes.
if I had that
Same.
authority, ay, ang bilis! Ay, ang bilis!
day.
Ang bilis! Ang bilis! No, alam mo yun, because I think it's easy for us to kind of take this we got fired clause as ikaw yung receiver. So parang, nagtrabaho naman ako. I think I did this, I
Oo.
did this, I did this. But then it's interesting when you flip it on the other side and you actually have to discern whether or not a certain person fits the bill or fits the role and how much you're willing to tolerate. So can you quickly like just share some feels about yun nga, like may napapansin kayo, may nakakatrabaho kayo na alam yun yung if I had the authority, if I had the power, either I will reassign XYZ to this kind of role instead or with this kind of workload instead kasi hindi it's slowing down everything or it's just debilitating the whole process.
Same.
Natawa naman ako kay Erwin.
Everyday feels. No, ako naman, parang, I'm not gonna say what company. But there are days na parang, when you work with other people, right? Na parang, baka hindi match yung skill set na to sa pinapagawa.
Yes.
Yung personal skill set niya
Yes.
sa type of role na meron siya now. Because there are times na parang you need a certain amount of, for example, badly put, creativity for this. Kuwari, you're copywriting. And this person is a data guy. Talagang number
Yeah.
crunching yung kaya niya. Tapos, papagawan mo siya ng parang copies ng advert. ng advert. So, parang, it doesn't work well. Exactly. Kasi I think also, since I've been working with digital, it's fast changing. Talagang ang bilis, especially in the digital space na the next day your direction is different from yesterday versus na if it's really like a trusted product, a proven product. For example, Padipot, gatas. You have your own toolbox or your own toolkit na okay, this is what we do because this works for this. But if it's digital, talagang paiba-iba siya and sometimes talagang other people talaga if their skill set doesn't match that, mahihirapan to catch up. May mga ganun akong experiences and luckily they're able to grow naman. It siguro mga first few months I would probably be like pero after that okay naman, parang nag-improve naman, 'di ba?
Yeah. Yung sa akin naman, medyo ano siya eh. Kasi pag sinabi, yung question kasi ni Amanda kanina, medyo subjective. Na parang, have you ever felt like fighting someone? Of course, I have before. Pero yun nga, subjective siya. Sa corporate kasi, hindi ka pwede maging subjective. Kailangan objective ka lagi. Kasi yung sinasabi ni Erwin na labor code,
Oo.
kapag ka may na-violate ka doon, kahit ba hindi nagpo-perform yung tao, pero nami-meet niya yung, I mean, hindi siya nagpo-perform in terms of attitude. Like, tamad
Oh,
siya
attitude kasi
or,
parang hindi yata siya ano.
oo. Pero nami-meet
Yes.
niya yung deliverables niya. Like, kunwari, on time siya. Sige, on time yung mga deliverables niya. Pero how he delivers, gets
It's
ba? Yung mainitin
different.
ulo,
Yeah,
yung
yeah, yeah.
ano, ganit, absent ng absent, ganyan, ganyan. Hindi mo yung pwede isisi sa kanya eh. Kasi nami-meet niya yung ano mo, yung sinet mo na
Tsaka kung
yung
nag-absent siya
deliverables mo.
tapos may VLs naman siya, may SLs naman
Correct,
siya.
correct.
Ah.
Yeah. Pero kunwari, mahirap ka usap, pero alam mo yun, or matagal siya makaintindi. Hindi siya ano eh, hindi siya factor
Hindi
ng
siya par...
firing, ng termination. Hindi siya factor
Gets,
eh.
gets,
Yeah.
gets, gets.
Ay, okay. So, before we end this very nice program. Nice program. Sabi ko,
May
wala pa
sayaw.
akong isip. So,
May sayaw. May intermission numbers.
okay. So, if you'll be fired, ano yung, sige, ano na lang, siguro, ano yung tip mo if you're on the receiving end? That's how we're gonna close this. We ended with, we got fired, so let's close it. How are we gonna get around it? Or how are we gonna be able
So,
to?
receiver
Yes.
tayo.
And then,
Okay.
paano mo, you're fired in not just in the corporate setting, ha? Like in any aspects of your life. Go.
I don't know. I
Ako,
think,
Go,
ako na
man.
lang, quickly lang. Mabilis na naman yung akin. I think it's just, in on the onset, of course, masakit. Masakit, and it's never a pleasant feeling when you're not wanted, or you feel unworthy, or you feel like you weren't enough. And this is across all feelings, whether it's group work, or even relationships, and in life in general. It's never a pleasant feeling. But having said that, you have to feel those feels of being unpleasant, have a good support system, have other outlets that make you feel worthy, and have time to reflect on how you can be better, or what are your areas of improvement. Syempre sa simula, parang ano ka pa eh, parang parang hesitant ka pa na, I don't think I need to improve anything. Sila yung nawalan, sila yung loser kasi they didn't see the good in me. But it's also an opportunity to reflect, where could I have been better, or how could I improve? And I don't know, I guess you have to remain hopeful that there must be something better out there.
Yeah.
There must be something else meant for me. So that's
Sige.
quickly lang mine.
I'm gonna be more objective on this one. So, yung first step na gagawin ko is that I would ask for numbers. I would ask for documents, for proof na
Wow.
bakit
Okay.
bakit
Love
bakit
it.
mo bakit mo ako tina-terminate, like anong ginawa ko, ganyan.
Okay.
From there, I assess myself, like, was it fair? Was it a fair
Wow. Okay.
assessment, or was it unfair for me na ganito yung ginawa nila, na mali naman eh, na feeling ko naman ang galing-galing ko, ganyan. So yun yung two steps muna. Tapos kung ano man yung magiging answer ko dun sa second step na yun, it's either I take it to legalities, na magka-file ako ng legal case kasi feeling ko naagrabyado ako, ganyan. Pero kung tanggap ko naman, wala, move on. Yung sinabi ni Amanda, you move on kasi tanggapin mo, nagkamali ka eh, nagkulang ka. So you don't, parang wag mong hayaan na maging ano to, parang hadlang siya sa'yo, di ba? Parang just continue, like, be better, ganyan. Live your life. Live your life.
Live
Naging
your
ano,
life.
YOLO pala.
Ako naman, very quickly lang yung sa akin. Kasi parang yung kay Amanda, very subjective. Very feelings-based. And kay BJ, yung objective na like, this is the steps that you take on a day, that's available for you. Ito yung remedies na available for you. And I think, for me, at the end of the day, it's really for growth. I think you can just always shift your perspective that being fired doesn't mean it's the end of the world. It doesn't mean it's the end of your life. But it's an opportunity for you to grow, and it's an opportunity for you to be better. Kasi at the end of the day, lagi naman yung sometimes nasa taas ka, sometimes nasa baba ka. It's not going to be a smooth sailing life. So,
Gets.
and work, termination, problems at work, problems with your career is always part of it. So, chill lang. I mean, it's hard, painful, but yes, it's going to be better. Yun lang naman. Wow! Dami
Yes.
nating nasabi. Grabe
Sana
guys. I
Yes.
think for our very first episode na nakaano tayo on cam, parang okay to. Parang ituloy-tuloy na lang natin.
Enjoy.
Oo.
Oo naman, enjoy to. Kaya,
good,
so,
Makikita na nila yung mga facial expressions.
oo nga, hindi na tayo pwede makakaganon.
Guys, most of the time nakapajama lang kami. Alam mo yun, yung
Sando,
parang
ganyan.
ako,
Kailangan
ganyan.
mag-ayos na.
Oo.
So, thank you everyone for watching or listening kung saan man kayo nanonood. This has been the Anyare Podcast with Erwin.
With Amanda, Erwin, and
Erwin and
Beach signing off.
O sige, pang bloopers na lang yan ha. Okay, bye guys. See you soon.
Bye.